Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And then there were 53. Jacksonville right now is spinning up on the axis. Are you kidding me? It's like a tilt-a-whirl. Get down, turn around, go to town. The boot-stootin' boogie. A Super Bowl roster. 53 players, ladies and gentlemen, with the bigs. 10 on the offensive line, 11 on the defensive line. Only 3 true edge players. One of which is a massive 7th-round project in Miles Cole. Never taken a snap before in the NFL. Some will say he never took a snap in 4 years at Louisiana Monroe and 1 year at Texas Tech. But you can't teach 6'6", 280. And you know what? I caught up with Miles Cole back during camp, way back during rookie minicamp as well, throughout the 20-plus practices during training camp. I'm impressed with him as a human being. I really am. I thought he was slow getting off the ball. You know, made some plays, kind of him and Breland Speaks late in games, right? Fourth quarter, particularly for Speaks. But Miles Cole was a guy that was noticeable as well. He makes the team today for the Jacksonville Jaguars. As a matter of fact, every draft pick makes the team. All 9 of them. Keelan Robinson is one of 2 players placed on the injured reserve, which you can in fact bring them back. There are 2 that you can do that with the new designation. I think everyone in the media nailed that when it came to Keelan Robinson along with Dewey, Andrew Wingard, but Brian Thomas, Mason Smith, Jerrion Jones, Javon Foster, Jordan Jefferson, DeAndre Prince, Cam Little, Miles Cole. So 8 of the 9 on the 53. Again, Keelan Robinson on the injured reserve. It can be brought back as early as week 5. Right now, they appear to have a lot of depth in the return game, right? We've seen a lot with Parker Washington, Devin Duvernay. They spent a lot of money to go out and get. Christian Braswell was kind of involved in that, at least, somewhat. And to me, that is the shock. That is. I don't know what else to say outside of the fact that this one I do not understand. This is clearly the biggest cut, in my opinion, that the Jaguars went out and made today. And I always have fun this time of year because I think, and I kid, I joke. I think in this line of work, there's kind of like this fighting that goes on inside the head. I forget about it because it was so long ago. It was right after I learned about Pavlov and the dog and all that. They started talking to me about the ego and the super ego and the id, and somewhere up from the brain stem, it produces fluids. And, I do have these lucid dreams, which are just groovy. They really are. I mean, I can take them places. I can do things. I wake up with like 3 women. And, I'm in a cold sweat. I don't know how to handle myself. That's another story for later. JJ, I'll share that with you during the break. But there's something with the media where they hate to admit they didn't see something coming. It's almost as if you, the listener, is going to be like, hey, of course I had Christian Braswell cut. No, you didn't. No, I didn't. I had him making the team, but I've never understood it because instead of just being honest and showing people that you make mistakes and that you're vulnerable, I think there's this feeling of, I can never admit that I didn't see something coming. Let me be the first to tell you right now. And if I'm wrong, give me evidence. No one saw Christian Braswell getting cut. I read every projection, talked with tons of people. This is a surprise. Now, listen, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm wrong. For crying out loud, yesterday I basically came out and apologized for my evaluation when it came to Florida State. I've never gotten something wrong to that extreme when I went inside the ditch and told you that their strength was their offensive line, running the ball, and their defensive line. No, I didn't lie. I don't know what I saw, right? Maybe that's the first sign that, hey, Ballou, it's time for you to get out. Okay, your days of evaluating stuff, it's over. You're really bad at it. And again, I have no way out of that with my Florida State comments. I mean, that's in concrete, and that is there for the rest of our days. But this one to me today is really bizarre with Christian Braswell. So that is by far my biggest surprise. I thought after the comments that were made by, Doug Peterson after the trade with Travis Gibson, I figured for sure DJ Coleman was going to be a part of this. A guy they groomed a year ago as an undrafted free agent, right? He's let go today. Jalen Jackson was the other one that I did have wrong. I think out of the three, the chances of Jalen Jackson returning are really good. Maybe a change of scenery could be part of it for DJ Coleman and Christian Braswell. I'm sure the organization is to do everything that they can to bring those two players back, all right? And that's the beauty of the 16-player practice squad rules once again in play this year. But, when the conversations go on with their agents, there's going to be depth charts that are going to be looked upon around the National Football League. And if there's a better opportunity, I would expect either one of those two to end up taking it. But we'll find out over the next couple of days. I still think it's going to be busy around here. I would think the majority of the 16 they would like to bring back if they can. And I would think, maybe 12 to 13 of the 16 they would like to bring back. There's got to be a few examples of some guys with the other 31 teams, a player or two or three who was let go today that maybe they had rated very highly, and they're going to go in that particular direction to try to fill a few of those spots. The three that I clearly had wrong. Well, let's add DeAndre Prince to that because I didn't have the Travis Gibson trade, right? So it was actually four if you add Gibson and Prince. But Luke Fortner, and I get why they keep him, but I just figured I'd do something that was a little bit, a little bit different from the norm. And I get why you keep him. He's a third-year rookie. He's very affordable cost-wise. And if something does happen to Mitch Morse, this guy's played 34 games. Actually, he played both playoff games. He's played 36 games. And in a pinch, when needed, there's experience, and there is the relationship between Fortner and Lawrence. That is huge. Caleb Johnson is a guy I did not have making this team. I just didn't. And he really showed out early that week against Kansas City and did some nice things. And I thought he just somewhat disappeared when it was all said and done. And then Otomewo. It's Asezi Otomewo. Guy was on the practice squad last year. Trent Balke moments ago saying he earned a roster spot. That may be the biggest surprise as far as anyone who made the 2024 Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, so when it's all said and done, it's really rich at the line of scrimmage. 10 offensive linemen, 11 defensive linemen. Out of those defensive linemen, you have 3 players on edge, and you have 8 defensive tackles. Now, the first guy you mentioned is Eric Armstead, because Trent Balke talked about that a little bit earlier, and Ryan Nielsen has talked about it throughout camp, even when he was on the PUP. Doug Peterson has talked about it. There really is a feeling, and it was even somewhat confirmed by Balke. We'll play that for you coming up in a little bit, that with Eric Armstead, this is a guy that can move all around the defensive line. He did in San Francisco. I don't have a tremendous knowledge for what Ryan Nielsen did last year in Atlanta, but he had a big end in Calais Campbell, and there were times he could move Calais around, much like what Jacksonville did for years. You remember that. I mean, on first and second down, Calais was on the big end, right? With, Unique on the other side or Josh Allen on the other side, and then all of a sudden it's a passing down, and you're going to take one of those ends and put him on the other end, and you're going to take Calais Campbell and you're going to flip him inside. So 3 true ends, but there's a lot of range here, and there's guys that can do multiple things. I thought we were going to see more of this with the linebacker play and possibly in the secondary. We still will. The substitution patterns for Ryan Nielsen is going to be one of the highlights of this year. To me, it's one of the most interesting aspects of this game because you go back to Kansas City, the 4th overall play, he brought in 5 defensive players, 5 substitutions. And when you start looking at guys like Lacey, and you start looking at guys like Roy Robertson Harris, and we talked about Eric Armstead, these guys can do multiple things for you. And it felt like in Tampa, when the Bucs were really good, they never ran the same play twice defensively. Okay? Growing up in Boston, I've always taped New England Patriots football. Okay? What Belichick did in the era where they won Super Bowls, and whether it was Romeo Crennel, and you can just go on and on, Matt Patricia, Greg Schiano, I mean, just pick your defensive coordinator, right? Flores, it didn't matter. They ran such a hybrid and did so many different things that I really felt as though it confused offenses. I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse here, but what have we seen? Have we seen anything? Is it now being worked on where there isn't media accessibility once they get into teamwork? I don't have an answer for you. I do not know. But this becomes so interesting to see how this is pieced together defensively. Because right now you look at it and you're like, you've got to be kidding me. They only have 3 guys on the edge. And one is a rookie who's never played. And with Dewey being out, you really only have 2 safeties, right? Daniel Thomas is nicked at this particular point. He's not really a game day safety. He is a 4-core special teams guy. And does that mean Savage, who I understand is your starting nickel? But when it's all said and done, is it Cisco, Johnson, and Savage as your 3 safeties? And they'll work their way around that with some youth now at cornerback. I don't know. This is why it's going to be fascinating when it is all said and done. All right, so 4 safeties, if you include, Savage, Cisco, and Johnson, and we do, Daniel Thomas, 5 corners, and 6 linebackers. All right, that's another part of this. You got 3 true defensive ends. What if they believe Chad Muma isn't that much of a drop-off from Devin Lloyd? And they can play Muma and Foye at linebacker and take Devin Lloyd and put him on the edge and say, go sick the quarterback. Is this going to happen? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just thinking out loud. Yasir Abdullah just flat out went and made this team. A year ago, I would have told you that Abdullah was an undersized one-trick pony. And that was to pin back the ears and go after the quarterback. They believe he's developing into a linebacker that can play a couple of different positions, can be stout against the run, can be hopefully average, maybe a little bit better in coverage. This is not a good coverage linebacker unit. It's just not, right? Moom has struggled in limited play. Devin Lloyd has really had a difficult time with it. And, we haven't seen in an actual game Yasir Abdullah be asked to do that. I mean, the guy played, 47 snaps last year. I want to say by week 4 or week 5, he was a game day scratch, for the rest of the season. But he went out and won the job. So that is impressive. 2 quarterbacks, as you know. C.J. Beathard let go. There was some language with him today. They could actually bring him back, I believe, by week 7. We'll get to that later in the program, but he got an injury settlement. He's out. See, Cleveland kept 4 quarterbacks for now on their 53-man roster. Hey, that's another part of all this. The Jaguars are getting breaks. OBJ on the pup. Bradley Chubb on the pup. They're not going to be playing on opening day against the Jaguars. I'm also told Miami's beaten up on the offensive line. Miami continues to be beaten up with their wide receiver core. Waddle's missed some time. Tyreek Hill, obviously, with the hand, that is a big part of it. And Nick Chubb, when they get Cleveland, right? Those first 4 games are against playoff teams. Nick Chubb still hasn't been able to come back after the devastating injury. He was placed on the PUP today, so he will not be there when the Jaguars take on the Browns. You never want to see injuries. Every team deals with it, right? And I don't need to say anything else. It's about survival. It's about attrition, and every team is going to have to deal with that right now. I'm sure in Miami right now on the radio and in Cleveland right now on the radio, they're making a huge deal out of the fact that Dewey is not going to be able to play on opening. My goodness, man, how much has the line moved? Andrew Wingard is not going to be able to play. And Keelan Robinson, he's out. So they're talking about that right now in Cleveland. They're talking about that right now in Miami. We're going to do the same thing right here in Duval. 3 backs. I would have kept 4. Jalen Jackson, undrafted out of Villanova. Hopefully he returns and goes to the practice squad. They got it right at wide receiver. I've seen a lot of complaints about this today, particularly with Elijah Cooks. The guy dropped the ball in his biggest moment. When you're battling for the 5th or 6th wide receiver spot, you have to make a catch. And Tim Jones is what he is. He's a special teams player. Not only is he going to make the team, he's going to play in all 17 games. He's a gunner. He's a big part of your special teams. And, you can bring up Trammell and you can bring up Cooks and you can bring up anyone else that you want. But they believe they have 5 wide receivers who do a variety of different things. And Tim Jones, if he's ever out there as a wide receiver, he's out there to block. Right? He's a special teams guy. They got that right. 3 tight ends. Some thought a 4th. And then, of course, as we began the program, we talked about 10 offensive linemen. When I come back, I want to dive into this a little bit more. The next 48 hours is very interesting because that is when you can go through the waiver process. And, I'm noticing around the league that quite a few offensive linemen have all of a sudden been let go. I think they're fine at tackle, right? I really do. Walker Little's their swing guy. You got the young one in Foster, as we've said before. You hope that he never plays at all this year. You hope that he's not even healthy on Sunday, that he's a scratch. He's not ready, and that was proven in the preseason. Cole Van Lanen had a very good camp, right? And it's almost as if they have an extra offensive tackle right now. Still that interior part of the offensive line. I really believe there's an upgrade that they could get there. So is everyone on this 53 today going to be around come Thursday? I don't know. I could see offensive line. I could see corner, if there's a veteran corner. I could see certainly edge, although it just kind of feels like they believe, Tyler Lacey's another guy. I don't know if I mentioned him a couple of minutes ago. There's just Jeremiah Ledbetter. There's guys that can do multiple things. But if they can get a true edge somewhere, and they're not going to go get Unique Ngakoue. I mean, every day I get that sent to me. What is Unique Ngakoue besides a bad teammate? What is he? He's a pass rusher. You think Ryan Nielsen's going to bring in a guy who can do one thing and one thing only? My guess is no. My guess is he wants a guy that can do everything at defensive end. So I don't think it's going to work with the Unique Ngakoue, but I could see it with another edge. So we'll come back and get into that a little bit as well. We're going to be very busy here on this Tuesday night edition. Man, the Jaguars dropped their roster from 80 to 53 with the moves that they made just a couple of hours ago. All right, comments tonight and every night brought to you by Shmunez Vision. It's pretty simple. How are your eyes, right? The older we get, the worse they get. How about throughout the course of the day? Ask yourself right now, where are your eyes compared to when you got up this morning, got the kids ready for school, or made your way into the office, right? Everything's fine. You can see great. All of a sudden, fatigue sets in. Your eyes begin to go sideways on you. It's common. There's ways to improve that, including laser eye surgery. You're talking about more than 30 years worth of experience when you talk about Dr. Catherine Shmunez and Dr. Neil Shmunez. Generational, right? Father, daughter. It's one of the many reasons why they are the best right here in Jacksonville, regardless of what your needs are for your eyes. And this includes medical and surgical, including surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago by Dr. Neil Shmunez. Check him out, Shmunez Vision. Also go to Instagram, Shmunez Vision, and get all of the testimonials. All right, when we come back, let's bring in JJ LaSelva. Let's dive deep into the Jaguars roster of 53. As always, the best way for you to join us, and we always value your opinion, is on the text line. That number is 641-1010. It's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Now, Studio Talk with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
You just don't get it.
The Drill.
We're two of a kind, you and me.
Mornings.
So how's that?
On 1010XL.
I'm getting to that.
We'll move it along.
Jennifer Luxury has a new address in Jacksonville.
Oh, do tell, John.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard. We've got over 40 Cadillac Lyrics in stock.
40? That's incredible. Any color you want?
You bet. Pick your color and drive away today. Plus, we're giving away a free home charger with every Lyric.
Fantastic. Anything else?
How about a car you'll never have to change the oil on?
No oil changes ever? Now that's luxury.
Randy Marion Cadillac, where Jacksonville meets luxury.
Visit us today on Southside Boulevard and tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool.
Feeling the heat, Jacksonville? Cool down with Bold City Heating and Air. From repairs to energy-efficient installs, we do it all. Family-owned and trusted since 2016, we offer clear pricing, NATE-certified techs, and unbeatable service. Call Bold City Heating and Air today and experience the bold difference.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. Hacker here, and let me give it to you straight. Here's what happened. I saw Mike and Matt lose weight pretty quickly and pretty easily with Awaken 180. Of course, I'd been griping about my weight for a long time, so I asked if they could put me in touch with Awaken 180. They each said yes, it'd be perfect for me. So I ended up on a call with Paige, the owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. By the end of that call, my only question was, what's the catch? Awaken 180 sounded too good to be true. Eat to lose weight? No meds? No workouts? Really? Paige just smiled through the phone and said, there is no catch, Hacker. Awaken 180 works. I was skeptical but intrigued. After the first week, I was sold. I dropped 19 pounds, and now 90 pounds later, I'm almost to my goal. The amazing part, and a main reason I chose Awaken 180, Mike and Matt both said the weight has stayed off. If losing weight is your goal, I suggest having the same conversation I had with Awaken 180. Schedule yours today at awaken180weightloss.com.
In what building in the United States has its own zip code?
Does your homeowner's insurance company contact you before, during, or after a big storm? If not, then it's time for you to contact Southern Oak Insurance. Find us online at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
The only building in the United States with its own zip code, the Empire State Building, a 102-story high-rise built in 1930.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
It's about the hunt.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Lagerman.
We take you from the water to the woods.
On the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Let's go to the woods, y'all.
Saturday mornings from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Check in Friday on The Frangie Show for the House Call segment brought to you by Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehab. Join the discussion as a JOI expert tells you about concussions and how they're assessed. JOI, where the pros go.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey there, all you fun-loving sports maniacs, a.k.a. taco lovers. Don here from Taco Lou. I'm quite proud to say that we have the best staff in all of Duval.
Don't you mean Louval?
Say hello to Lizzie.
Hello, Jacksonville.
I suppose I do mean Louval. Say, Liz, what's your favorite cocktail to make?
The Double Barrel Margarita. It's Herradura, Tequila Reposado, orange liqueur, orange juice, and our homemade sour mix. We call it Lou Brew. Give it a good shake and serve.
Well, thanks, Lizzie.
Come in and hang with me at the bar. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to come out and experience one of the most beautiful and unique golf courses in North Florida. Affordable golf, friendly service, and great times in the Hills Grill after play. Book your tee time, hiddenhillsgc.com.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ. Zero Res.
Imagine stepping out of your cozy cabin on a crisp fall morning, coffee in hand, a stunning view from your private porch greets you. You spend the day relaxing at the tiki bar or taking a dip in the year-round pool while catching the big game on TV. Welcome to Island Oaks RV Resort, just past McClenny off exit 333. Book your cabin that sleeps 4 to 6 people. A close, affordable getaway with activities for the whole family. Make memories that last at Island Oaks RV Resort. IslandOaksRVResort.com.
Make the move to ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, and you won't hear your employees complain about the copier anymore. Instead, you'll hear this. Advanced Business Solutions, your local Xerox dealer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jacksonville down to 53 players, 16 practice squad opportunities await. I like the philosophy here of Trent Balke, right? Drafting and trying to develop. The one part that really sticks out that's kind of unfortunate is the youthful defensive backs. All right, Gregory Jr. was waived with an injury a couple of weeks ago. Today they cut Eric Hallett, guy who has some experience and has played primarily safety. He has worked at corner before. And the huge one I didn't see, Christian Braswell, cut today. Guy who battled with an injury, 6th-round pick from a year ago. Both him and Hallett, former 6th-round picks. You still have a couple of guys remaining. Buster Brown made this team, and Antonio Johnson. So 2 of the 5 still here, and I have to believe they want to bring back Christian Braswell and Eric Hallett and keep them on the practice squad. All right, tonight's show brought to you by Thermal Engineers. They are hiring right now. They're a commercial HVAC contractor, and they've been serving North Florida for over 20 years. Listen to this. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. So if you're a qualified technician and installer, just check them out. You can go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. That's Thermal Engineers, Inc. Or call them at 230-1172. They're an equal opportunity employer. A good buddy of mine, Eric Neal, he's been in the HVAC industry for more than 20 years. He just got up and left his former company. Too good of an offer. If you kind of find yourself, looking for something that is better, why not a positive change? Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. AJ LaSalva is here.
I did not get cut today.
You did not?
Thank God for that.
Anything stand out as a surprise for you?
Well, I'm not there at practice. So I don't really get to see these lower level roster guys too much. But
you listen intently to all of our comments.
Exactly. So I was surprised that Braswell was cut just because I hear so much about him. But to me, the story of the day, and it's very sad, is the cutting of Tyler Shatley. I will never be able to play this again.
Shatley's greatest strength is his strength.
And that just shows how many coaches this guy lived through. That was Gus. So that's what? Gus, Doug, other Doug, and Urban. Shatley was, I thought, a lifer Jag, but I'm assuming his career's over, but a hell of a run for Shatley.
It was a hell of a run. It was, but it's funny that you mentioned that because I just put this on Twitter as the music was playing. It says this: Tyler Shatley cut by the Jags today. I'll set the line at 3 games that he'll play in Duval this year anyway.
Okay, good.
What about you?
That's so funny that you tweeted that.
Yeah, I mean, it just barely did it.
I said that. I dressed, not even have to see the field. Probably, I'd probably go over 2.5 or something like that.
I think he plays.
Okay.
He did last year. They always bring him in. I mean,
he plays every position.
Is Tyler Shatley a better center option than Luke Fortner? They're not going to play him at center because Fortner has all that experience. Is he a better guard option than what they have now? I mean, all this hype for Cooper Hodges, we'll see. Cooper Hodges has trouble, staying healthy. So that's where because you have extra guards here. You have Foster and you have Van Lanen along with Little. You have 3 backup tackles. So that's a little bizarre right now. They're down with a guard. I still think that is the premier position that they're going to try to add here through the waiver wire as an interior offensive lineman. And again, if they can get a natural edge player, I think that is where this organization would in fact go. We will see. There was a good one here that I wanted to bring up. 4010 says, Ballou, Tim Jones had 339 offensive snaps last year, 29%. He had 11 catches. I get having a blocking wide receiver in the roster, but give us something, catch a pass if you're on the field that much. Okay. That is an outstanding point by the 40-10. Go back 2 years ago. The wide receiver core stayed healthy the entire year. Last year, you lost Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Jamal Agnew went down, Parker Washington went down. He was put in there because there were injured football players. This isn't an excuse. These are facts. The Jaguars were really beaten up last year. Okay? Trevor had 5 injuries, your offensive line was in shambles, and your wide receivers got really beaten up. Point I'm trying to make is, in a perfect world, Tim Jones is not out there running routes for you. He's their what? 8th option? Right? You have the 5 other wide receivers. You got Ingram and Strange. That's 7. You've got ETN and Tank. He's your 10th option on this football team. So what he does is he blocks well. He is a good blocking wide receiver, and he's a good special teams player. I'm not leading the Tim Jones bandwagon here in town. I'm just simply stating this is why he's on the team. And I've heard about it all camp. Oh, Trammell deserves to make it. Cephas deserves to make it. Cooks deserves to make it. Those guys aren't going to be healthy on Sunday. Even if they make the 53-man roster, they're going to be a game day scratch. They're going to be as useful as you are because they're not active. Tim Jones plays every single game. And he's here for that reason. Dewey, when healthy, is here for that reason. Daniel Thomas is here for that reason. Caleb Johnson is here for that reason. The last time I interviewed Yasir Abdullah, he mentioned special teams a couple of times without me asking it. He's there for a reason. Special teams are so easily dismissed, but are incredibly important. Maybe I should have seen with DeAndre Prince making it because he was a gunner, right? You had Daniel Thomas and Tim Jones. And then on punt, you had Tim Jones and you had DeAndre Prince. And I'm still fascinated to see how they're going to handle the new kick rule. I think teams disguise stuff during the 3 preseason games. I mean, when they kick off, are they going to have 1 or 2 guys that it's almost like before they lifted the red line in the National Hockey League, you would have guys that would, kind of mosey their way back to their own blue line, right? Then hopefully you get a knockdown puck and possibly a breakaway going the other way, cheating, if you will. I think we're going to see that with 1, if not 2, guys on kickoff that filter back towards the kicker. Because if you find your way through that seam, I mean, you go in the entire distance for a touchdown. But that is a good, that is a very good text, and we do appreciate it there from the 40-10. Is that true? He actually had 11 receptions last year. I would have said 11 receptions in his career. No, he had 11 of 18 last year. Okay, 18 targets, 11 games. But look at 17 games, right? You know what wide receiver played 17 games last year? Only one. His name was Calvin Ridley. Kirk played 12. Zay played 9. Jamal Agnew played 11. Parker Washington played 9. That's why he got the snaps. There were too many injuries last year in Jacksonville. Let's hope that that's not the case coming up this year. All right. When we come back, much more to do. Got incredible listeners, and I know that a lot of you out there are like pounding the waiver wire. I'm starting to get comments on offensive guards and offensive linemen and stuff like that. I'll tell you what I know. I'm never going to lie to you on it. Some guy who's been playing offensive line for the last couple of years at Arizona. I don't have a book on him, okay? I'm not going to try to spin that. There's enough spin in our life. But I do believe they can get better with the interior offensive line. I really do. We'll come back. We'll take a look at that a little bit. Got some other things I do want to address with the Jaguars. And Trent Balke, the pass rush, the edge position, obviously right now there is some lack of understanding as far as that position when you look at the lack of depth. When we do return, we're going to begin with your general manager, Trent Balke, talking about that.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
This summer, beat the heat at Best Bet, your premier poker destination. Whether you're a seasoned poker pro or a first-time card player, you'll find a cool retreat from the summer heat with thrilling poker games, big payouts, and refreshing drinks. Join us for an unforgettable experience. Cool off and cash in at Best Bet. The stakes are high, the cards are hot, and your chance for fun is guaranteed. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
Wondering what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Southern Steer Butcher is a full-service butcher that offers take-and-bake side options that are oven-ready.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. Are you tired of wrestling with your old shower curtain? Then say goodbye to the curtain chaos and hello to a new frameless shower enclosure. Wago Glass is clear, classy, and won't stick to you like a toddler at bedtime. Plus, it makes your bathroom look bigger and brighter. Upgrade your shower experience and step into style. Call me at Baker Glass and get ready to love your new glass shower enclosure. Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
This is Dr. Michael Iorio, internal medicine physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Legendary Jaguars running back Fred Taylor spoke to the Drill yesterday morning to talk about his excitement for Week 1 with Dan and Jeff and what he preferred for a season opener in his playing days.
It's a great feeling, to run out of the tunnel, man. You got the smoke, you got the fans, you got the flyover. But also, I want to say that, even if you have to go on the road, football, it's in the air. The grass smells different. So you love it no matter what. But it's nothing like opening in front of your home crowd.
The Jags open up their season this year on the road in Miami, but kick off their first game in the bank Week 2 when the Cleveland Browns come to town. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we do tonight up until 8 o'clock. Hacker Nation will join you then. I'll be joining Hacker at 9 as I come on all of these shows with my Florida State report. They've been filthy, and that'll continue until they play Monday night. Hey, you know who's going to join us tomorrow at 6:30?
Michael Corleone.
Once again, the return of the Philly Godfather. Only here on 92.5 FM. We'll do that around 6:35 tomorrow night. I got with him today. Yeah, I'm going to the Jaguars-Philly game this year. And I made my flight. I'm getting in at noon on a Saturday for a Sunday nighter. What are the chances of the Philly Godfather and myself getting into trouble on Broad Street in downtown Philly?
I'm very envious of hanging out with Philly Godfather. I follow him on Twitter, and I feel like I'm friends with. I feel like I know him just from this show and his Twitter. That sounds fantastic. You know he knows the food spots.
You think he's got a couple of places?
The food, like in the suburbs area right outside of Philly. My dad grew up in Camden, New Jersey, so I know it pretty well. Like, it's phenomenal. It's like some of the best food in America.
Yeah, but we're going underground. Yeah. You think he's got a few spots?
I would imagine.
So tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, 6:35, we will take a look at Florida, Miami. We will take a look at Clemson and Georgia. Georgia went 40 years, 4 decades. They did squat. Now they act like they invented the game. We will take a look at Texas A&M. Very difficult place to play. They say it's the toughest place to play in college football. The problem is they haven't won a national title there since ever. They have Notre Dame. And then, as I said, it was a horrific day for me yesterday dealing with the fact that my truck was broken into. That was the only vandalism until I went to the front seat and I saw 8 tickets for the Florida State Boston College game left for me by whoever broke in to my truck. Yeah, we'll talk about that game. A lot of money coming in on BC. During the summer, it was 24. It began at 17, and I was down to 15. BC almost beat them a year ago. It was a 31-29 game. The Mangler's listening. Greg Huntington, he's like, let's go to the Blue Crab House. Doesn't he know that I'm in the middle of doing my job. I mean, I just can't pack up and go to the Blue Crab House right now. I'd love to. I would. They're open until 9:30 tonight, and I'll tell you that tomorrow night they have dollar oysters. Man, did I have a great time there. What was it? It was Thursday night. Oh, man. They had to throw us out, me and the GF, the designated driver. It just got crazy over there, man, with the snow crabs, went with the blue crab chef salad. Phenomenal. Right off of San Jose on Jillington Creek Road. Trent Balke, about an hour and some change ago, was asked about the Jaguars' pass rush.
We feel good about the group. Again, we've got 3 guys that have played a lot of football. Eric's in good shape. He's ready to go. We've been smart. He's been smart in how we're bringing him along. He's a pro. He knows his body well. You can see him out there moving around. He's moving really well. There's always a chance for injury. And I don't care how many guys you have. Guys go down, the next man's got to come up. But we feel good about that rotation. We got some guys on the inside that can flex outside. So there's some flexibility with the way the roster was constructed.
To me, this is the outside of who's going to call plays. And doesn't it feel like every day that goes by, it's now going to be Press Taylor, even though, I mean, to me, it's not even a question. It should be Doug Peterson. But, I mean, this really sets up for Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker to play a tremendous amount of snaps. Your third end is Miles Cole. Again, Louisiana Monroe, 1 year at Texas Tech. Looks the part, but has not shown up. He did not make plays at Louisiana Monroe. He did not make plays at Texas Tech. Doesn't mean he can't. Guys develop. Guys mature. All right? I mean, he's a very likable guy. Would love to see it. But you're not going to pay Eric Armstead $14.5 million to be your third defensive end. He's not coming off the bench. He's your starter inside, right? Your 2 starters are Eric Armstead and Devon Hamilton. What this roster on the defensive line says to me more than anything, let's begin with Mason Smith. He has all along been the major wild card of this draft class. What if Mason Smith is such a beast that they believe they're not missing much at all by bringing him in to replace Eric Armstead? Maybe you can put Armstead on the edge and give, Hines-Allen a blow or give Trayvon Walker a blow. And I think he becomes the third defensive tackle. Maybe in game 1, game 2, it may be Roy Robertson-Harris. I just think that Mason Smith is going to outplay him. And, Jordan Jefferson, he went up against guys who were no longer on a roster, but he showed a little something. Still developmental. Tyler Lacey's a guy that they believe can be a big end and also move inside. So you got a lot of range there. But I still think something else is going to happen. And there's 2 guys that I'm looking at in certain situations. Yasir Abdullah, who played it a year ago as an edge. If we look at this roster a year ago, you would say the 4 edges would include Yasir Abdullah. They have him as a linebacker, but you know that they're going to mix and match. So maybe there's still an opportunity here for Abdullah. And the other one to me, and this is probably me buying into fool's gold, is Devin Lloyd. Don't you want to see it? I mean, don't you want to see Muma in a Loicon and just see Lloyd blitz the quarterback, stick him right on the edge and say, act like Michael Parsons. Try it. What are you going to lose? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we've been wondering about that for 2 years. We haven't seen it. I asked him, and he smiled. And we learned that he was officially moving to the Mike linebacker position. I think it's been a good camp for Lloyd, but it hasn't been overwhelming. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that, the move from outside to inside is totally changed the entire well-being of this defense. I don't feel that way right now. I just think it's a big possibility. I mean, Ryan Nielsen's going to try things. At least that's what I believe. That's what I hope. Let's get ready for the 7 o'clock hour. You want to join the conversation? We're getting a lot of good stuff that's coming in. 641-1010. That is the best way for you to join us on our text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
College football is coming. Celebrating another season of college football. This should be fun to watch.
1010XL's college kickoff coverage is brought to you by Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Florida and Island Oaks RV Park.
Let's do it on 1010XL. Come on. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need these special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey gang, Hicken here for Zero Res. Man, it is hot outside this time of the year. Many of us are staying inside or going to the pool. Well, my friends at Zero Res are also heating things up. As you know, Zero Res does a great job of cleaning carpets and rugs. But they also clean luxury vinyl planking, tile and grout, fine stone and hardwood floors. And right now, the hottest price of the year, 25% off all hardwood cleaning. That's 25% off tile, LVP, fine stone, and hardwood floors. Zero Res, man, spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it back. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Satisfied that all is well with your business operations? If your IT security and print management is working, you must have hired ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, your local Xerox copier dealer. ABS, Advanced Business Solutions.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Hicken here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
We've seen it 1,000 times. Insurance companies using the same tired excuses not to pay. They'll say you're really not hurt, or that your injury is from an old accident. That's why it's so important to hire a law firm who has their own medical experts, who know how to fight excuses with facts. When they bring excuses, we bring the truth. And truth is power. Farah and Farah. Here for you, here for good. Jacksonville.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, no.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the duck. 904-862-6769.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zerorez and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zerorez,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zerorez.
Imagine stepping out of your cozy cabin on a crisp fall morning, coffee in hand, a stunning view from your private porch greets you. You spend the day relaxing at the tiki bar or taking a dip in the year-round pool while catching the big game on TV. Welcome to Island Oaks RV Resort, just past McClenny off exit 333. Book your cabin that sleeps 4 to 6 people. A close, affordable getaway with activities for the whole family. Make memories that last at Island Oaks RV Resort. IslandOaksRVResort.com.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. Through the Everbank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and a pair of tickets to see the Jags play in London. To learn more and for official rules, visit everbank.com/London. No person necessary to enter or win. Open legal residence of 50 United States and D.C. 18 or older. Entry period for the Everbank London Getaway Suites is from 8/5/24 to 9/5/24. To enter and for official rules, alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Well, the formula for Trent Balke is one that is valued by most teams around the NFL, right? Use free agency to fill glaring holes, whether it's for a couple of years or more. And around here, some of those free agents have really worked out and have been extended. Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, Foye Oluokun, those three certainly come to mind. Re-signing your own players, right? They did it 3 times this year with Trevor and Devin and Tyson Campbell. And having a great mix of guys on your first contract, your first 4 years of your rookie contract. You've got to have that mix. Every rookie makes the 53-man roster that was assembled today by Trent Balke and Doug Peterson, outside of Keelan Robinson, who becomes an injured reserve guy, which you can pull back. You can pull back 8 guys. Only 2 you could pull back by putting them on the IR today, right? Dewey, Keelan Robinson. So they're both, Dewey's going to be brought back. Almost in a way, you kind of hope you don't have to bring back Keelan Robinson, right? Because what does that mean if you don't have to do it? It means that Devin Duvernay's done real good as a return man. He stayed healthy. And Parker Washington has done really well as a returner. And, Tank has been back there with kickoffs. I don't know if that's going to remain the same. But you got 3 guys that can do it. So if Keelan stayed on the injured reserve, that means there's no attrition. And that's a good thing. Deshaun Gibson, that was the exemption rule. It happened a year ago with Cam Robinson for 4 games, so he does not count against the 53. So in a way, the Jaguars right now have a 56-man roster because Deshaun Gibson can return in Week 7. Now, you're going to have to cut a guy on your 53 or place a guy on the injured reserve. And we just talked about 2 guys that they will designate to return in Andrew Wingard and Keelan Robinson. Now, guys, David White Jr., a wide receiver, and Deshaun Dixon are on the injured reserve, but they're gone for the remainder of the year. There's no chance of them returning. There's been other injury settlements. For instance, Gregory Jr. I noticed he was getting a tryout somewhere. I think it was in New York. Might have been New Jersey today with the Giants. I saw it somewhere. It's a cruel day for a lot of these guys. I'll never forget Gus's first year. Who was the Seminole, kind of a fullback running back that made the team initially, had that huge game against Northern Illinois in the Orange Bowl. I think he still lives here. Lonnie Pryor. How hard would that be to be elated today? And I'm sure a lot of people are dealing with this across the league, to make the 53. And then in 48 hours, Turk shows up and says, come see the head coach, bring your playbook. You're out. Because they thought that they could get better going through the waiver wire. And it's going to be a mess. We're going to see this all over the place with all 32 teams. A couple of notables today. C.J. Henderson cut by Houston. God, what a disaster. What an awful pick by the Jaguars. I mean, just terrible. James Robinson, cut by the Saints. Still a mystery to me. I know he doesn't have the giddy up. He was a good back here. He really was. He's been from team to team. He can't make a club. It's like I've done this for so long that I don't feel bad because I've seen it so many times. But I do a little, I don't feel bad for C.J. Henderson. I think that's on his own. I think it's his lack of his work ethic. I know he's got some issues. And the fact that everyone knew that he had issues. I mean, he played at Florida. I mean, everyone knew it. And they still drafted him as, was not the Balke regime, but just amazing. You remember the day when, actually, I know you weren't out there, Jay, but when Urban brought out his bike into the middle of the sun and had him ride the bike the entire practice?
That was the talk of the week.
Right on the edge of the practice field. It was like from the Lou Holtz Under the Tarnished Dome book. If you're not healthy, you are completely useless to me. Let's just embarrass this guy in front of his entire, in front of all his teammates and the media and the fans who were there.
I think Lou Holtz used to not even say their name or even talk to them in the halls, like you said, if they were hurt or something like that. Do you remember when he was drafted?
Oh, yeah.
The draft night video.
On the couch?
And he had this look on his face that everybody, all of, Jags people were trying to... Hey, that's not what it looked like, folks. But it obviously was what it looked like. If you don't remember, he was like, damn. It was almost like a look of disappointment when he got drafted. And it was like a huge red flag from the beginning.
And then we learned that had learned prior to that and then after that, there are some issues there. And it's sad. I mean, back when you read that book by... Yeager out of Tallahassee. I think it's Don Yeager. He's written some great books. The one on Warwick Dunn, the one on Reggie Bush. Don Yeager, the one on Reggie Bush. I mean, just some great stuff. But you go back to when he wrote that book about Notre Dame and everything, primarily in the late 80s, that was, if you had mental issues, you were just...
soft.
Yes. We hadn't had the evaluation in at that time. There was no such thing as being weak-minded, right? Now, you have professional help all over the place, college and pro. I mean, it is a sickness. But I'll never forget the way Urban Meyer did that with C.J. Henderson. Ronnie Harrison cut by the Colts. He had to go. He was one of those, and he's been gone now for 4+ years, but he was one of those renegades with Telvin and Jalen and guys like that just were not good teammates when it was all said and done. So some of those moves made today. There's many more that are going to be rolling in, including Cleveland at this particular time right now has 4 quarterbacks on their roster. That is absolutely bizarre as far as I am concerned. All right, let's get back to Trent Balke. He was asked, ever since he's been here, Is this the best depth that he's had on a Jaguars roster?
Coach and I were talking, we feel good about the 53 guys. You're only as good as what the record you put out there is, so that remains to be seen. But this group of guys, they work hard. They're great teammates. They love coming to work every day. So from that standpoint, we feel really good about the locker room. How good it ends up being, we're going to find out 18 weeks from now.
I thought all along the biggest problem with this organization is the offensive line, particularly the interior offensive line. That continues to be far and away my biggest concern. Number two now, because of numbers, is the edge. I thought Travis Gibson would be here. I thought DJ Coleman would be here. Coleman still could if he goes to the practice squad, and you never know what's going to happen. But, I pause there, and I say, trust the new process. Trust Ryan Nielsen and his excitement and the fact that he rotates players. He substitutes players unlike anything that we've seen around here for a very long period of time. And we've gone through the guys, whether it's Armstead or Lacey or Abdullah or me probably wasting airtime by even mentioning Devin Lloyd. Okay, but there's an ability to do things like that where, is it a concern? Yeah, but I kind of want to be a believer in what I think they're going to do, if that makes any sense. Where I'm not there with the interior offensive line. I mean, you mentioned the interior offensive line, and if you were to get a photo, you'll see my face turns red and beats of sweat start rolling. It's like, wow, that's a problem. Okay, they got 5 tackles on this team. Trade a tackle for a guard. Find a way to bring in a guard. I think you really have to do that. And now all of a sudden as well, I'm like, with the Braswell cut, I've always talked about how hard it is to evaluate the offensive line. It's the hardest position group in football to evaluate. I've always thought I've had a pretty good eye for the wide receiver and defensive backfield. And to me, Braswell played as well as anyone. Darby was the star early. Tyson was out with an injury. Jones turned some heads, then went out for a brief time with an injury. Braswell just seemed to be really consistent, but he didn't make it. So, I read a couple of places today, Mickey Loomis in New Orleans. And does Jacksonville make a run at a guy like Marshawn Lattimore? Got a few years left. Very expensive, right? What's the cost going to be? Is it a third-round pick? I know you don't want to give up draft capital like that, but you're getting a proven football player. That's one that I've seen. I've seen some others that mention offensive linemen. I've seen some others that mention maybe a little bit of depth coming off the defensive line. It seems like Trent Balke always is acquiring more than he is adding. Now, that's not always true. He got Ezra Cleveland a year ago, right? And there have been situations that have backfired. I'm sure it wasn't his doing. I got to guess it was Urban's. But Urban peddling Minshew out the way that he did to try to really make it seem like there was a quarterback battle between him and Trevor to inflate the draft capital, the exact opposite happened. Minshew was terrible. That was a bad team, but he was really bad. And would they end up getting a 6th rounder? But he's starting. He's starting right now in Oakland. So anyway, more of that is going to happen. Hey, let's wrap up Balke. Let's play 13 because this to me the ultimate wild card is Mason Smith. But I am a little bit fascinated here with Miles Cole, and it's impossible not to be if you size him up. If you go and you look at him, he is an enormous human being. Massive. Now, that doesn't always translate to the football field. And unfortunately for Miles Cole, it hasn't during his years playing on Saturday, both at Louisiana Monroe and his past year at Texas Tech. But he did show some things during some preseason games. Earlier today, general manager Trent Balke was asked about Miles Cole.
I think if you look at just the first game he played in as a young guy against Kansas City, there's going to be some growing pains. There always is with rookies, and especially you get into the regular season games and they heat up a little bit, and you're going against the ones, and things change, and he's going to have to be able to adjust to that. But I think you saw early on, and it's hard to find 6'6", 280 pounds that runs 4.6 and has 36 and 7/8 arm length. They're not just dropping off of trucks every day or.
Save that. I love it. I mean, that's like fired up Balke. I mean, that's smartest guy in the room, Balke, and I love it. Imagine having dinner with Balke. He's like out with the wife and like his neighbor and his wife, and the guy just mentions arm length. And who else mentions arm length in a conversation? Play that one more time for me, because this may be my favorite Trent Balke comment to date.
I think if you look at just the first game he played in as a young guy against Kansas City, there's going to be some growing pains. There always is with rookies, and especially you get into the regular season games and they heat up a little bit, and you're going against the ones, and things change, and he's going to have to be able to adjust to that. But I think you saw early on, and it's hard to find 6'6", 280 pounds that runs 4.6 and has 36 and 7/8 arm length. They're not just dropping off of trucks every day.
He threw the 7/8 in there too.
36 and 7/8. Dropping off a truck. I thought he was talking about me getting with the Philly Godfather. That Philadelphia matchup against Jacksonville on that Sunday night. So there you go. That is your roster, Duval. I'm going to set the line at 2. And 2 additions in the next 48 hours to the 53-man active roster. But I'd play the under. I would. Again, and this is not a knock. This is the truth. I think ego's involved. And unless you know you're getting a better football player, unless he's got a guy in the top drawer and he's like, he was cut, you have an opportunity to get him. I think ego, guys that you drafted, undrafted guys that you put on your practice squad, I think it comes into play, not just for Trent Buck, but for all 32 decision makers around the league. Traditionally, that's why, for the most part, you've noticed that draft picks get a little bit of a longer leash than non-draft picks. But I'm going to set it at 2. I think interior offensive line. They got to find someone there. And if there's an edge guy, again, you've got 10, man. You've got 10 offensive linemen and 11 defensive linemen. They have one too many defensive linemen right now. We'll see what happens. I hope they can bring back Breland Speaks and put him on the practice squad. I hope they can bring back DJ Coleman and put him on the practice squad. I hope they can bring back more than any of them is Christian Braswell and put him on the practice squad. All right, when we come back, let's get more from you. Here's a good one. Actually, we've got so many went down. Oh, here it is. 8911 says, I'm glad Rick is in a better mood tonight. Let me tell you something, brother. And this, let me tell you something, brother. And this goes to really any facet in life. Find a way to get it out of you. Can you imagine going through life, keeping things bottled up? For 32 and a half years, the microphone to me has been the ultimate drug, okay? It's better than any prescription that a doctor could give me. It's better than any street drug I could pick up on Phillips Highway. It is the ultimate high. Last night's show at 8 o'clock, I was freaking exhausted. Did I yell for 2 hours about Florida State? Damn right I did. And you know what? I felt good.
And it was a great show.
I felt good. And you should do that too. Maybe your go-to is to go punch a brick wall. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get wasted and go drive. Wouldn't do that either. But you got to find a way to get things out of you. Maybe it's as simple as, hey, honey, I'm going to go drop a line and go fish somewhere or go beat the hell out of the little white ball on the golf course. I don't know.
Go for a jog.
Yes. Everyone does things differently. But I know I was a bear last night. I was pissed off. I'm not going to try to hide it. People, you making it seem like that's the first time you've ever heard me do that? I basically do it every time they lose. But yeah, last night is one I didn't see it coming that way on Saturday. Not when you get physically ripped in the trenches. I've kind of taken like a day off. Someone sent me a text and said that Norvell's now going to close practice to the media. Is that true? Is he really going to do that? That's like his bread and butter. Like, everyone loves Mike. Mike opens up practice. I mean, you can't ask why a guy's not practicing. You can't, but you can still watch it. You just can't ask, right? I mean, it's just, but you're not closing practice because they said that Florida State is a bad team, right? They overdid it. They're a great team. I caught it. I saw 2 practices. I absolutely said it. You can't be upset about that, right? I find it hard to believe that he's going to make that change based on 1 week. And they don't practice, they spend another couple days in Dublin and, everything's great. Let's stay here and party after losing. Let's just get it on. And, instead of just saying, hell with that. Fly your ass back to God's. Let's stay in Dublin and have a big time party. Hey, unbelievable the way you coddle these kids. Sickening. But they didn't practice today. I guess they're not going to practice till Thursday. So I guess we won't know. I'm interested to see if any one of those Florida State reporters will dare to say it, right? Because they're scared. And they're scared everywhere on campus. No one's scared here. I can say whatever I want about the Jaguars. I'm not scared. It's honest. College campus, though, that whole access gets threatened. And that's, we've seen new media, too, right? It's not, when I was there, you had 8 or 9 different beat reporters from newspapers. Now you have one newspaper. And everyone else is a fan-created website, and there's a couple of good journalists, newspapermen sprinkled in there, but it's usually, the hyperactive kid who went to school there and brags about it. And I'm not just talking about at Tallahassee. I'm talking about the same thing in Gainesville and Athens. I mean, that's everywhere. This isn't just Florida State. But there's a difference. There really is. Not to say that here that, you've got a bunch of contrarians and a bunch of guys that I can't think of one person in the Jacksonville media who wants the Jaguars to lose. Not one. If you can, let me know. 641-1010. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And I think this media here does a good job. I think they do a great job if you compare it to what you get from the national media, who is so uninformed, and they miss all the time. They really do. But yes, if anyone tries to tell you, it's all the same, covering the college football team compared to covering an NFL, wrong. I went from Bobby Bowden to Tom Coughlin. I had a cush job in Tallahassee. I had full access to the team, and I would not trade getting that experience with Tom Coughlin for anything in the world. It was amazing, but there is a big difference. That's why most people work to get out of the college town and get to a bigger city. Just where I think your word means a little bit more. Enough of that, right? Get me out of here, JJ. 3, 2, 1, The Truth Teller here. Seminole football is here. I'll be joined by Todd Fordham and Niall Lawrence Stample. It's the Seminoles Roundtable with Ballou. Find it on 1010XL's Seminoles YouTube page or wherever you find podcasts.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of new vehicles. Trax starting at $2.99 a month. Traverse for $3.99 a month. Silverados as low as $4.99 a month. And they all come with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected for the next 20 years. Plus, every purchase will help fund a teacher's project in our schools. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal sportsbook app, and they're so stoked for the kickoff of the season. You know why? Because never before in September have you been able to legally bet on football. This year, for the first time ever, people in Florida can bet on ball. College kicks off this weekend with a big bunch of games, and all you have to do to get started is download the Hard Rock Bet app or go online at hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Don't ignore plumbing leaks. They can lead to mold and mildew or structural damage and drain your wallet. So when you have a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Chelsea here with Renewal by Anderson. Summer's winding down, and so are our prices at Renewal by Anderson's end of summer window and door sale. Upgrade your home with custom Fibrex windows and doors. Whether you need custom, energy efficient, hurricane resistant windows or a stylish new patio door, we've got you covered. A better way to a better window. Visit us at bestwindowsflorida.com for details. Transform your home before fall with the end of summer sale. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CGC 1527613.
These are the last days for Monahan Jewelers store-wide 50 to 60% off sale. These are the biggest savings we could possibly offer with everything on display, discounted 50 to 60% off, ending Saturday, August 31st. We bought so much brand new jewelry that we need to make room for it, and the only way to do that is to give you huge deals at 50 to 60% off everything. And the sale ends Saturday, August 31st. Diamond jewelry, colored gemstones, gold chains, everything on display is 50 to 60% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater irrigation and drainage too.
For any urological concerns, let Ackerman Urology be your trusted partner in men's health. With offices from Amelia Island to World Golf Village, they treat bladder conditions, elevated PSAs, and ED. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Stone Temple Pilots, Friday night in Duval. No place I'd rather be. Outside of some great high school football. I wonder how they sound nowadays with Scott Weiland no longer with us, right? I don't know. I've never been a huge Stone Temple Pilot fan, but I'm going on Friday night. Going with my good buddy Woody Bunch and his wife. Of course, the GF doesn't drink, so you know what that means. That $50 voucher for alcohol becomes a $100 voucher. So I should be able to get myself 2 beers and get her a Diet Coke. I don't take care of that $100. That's coming up on Friday. Man, this is the least amount of concerts I've seen. I haven't seen a concert since U2 in March at the Sphere.
Well, that should have counted as like 4 concerts, let's be real. Any Sphere show.
No.
But I'm not a huge Stone Temple Pilots guy, but the songs that I do know, like, they're pretty badass.
Yep.
So I bet the show's going to be sick.
And I think their live opens up. Remember them? They're like a Florida-based band.
Okay.
I think they're out of like Clearwater.
It's a very 90s show.
Yep. Will be a lot of fun. 2774 says, boy, are there any defensive players released from Atlanta that Nielsen may be familiar with? Well, I'm sure he's all over that in New Orleans as well, because, you know, he spent a couple of years with the Saints up until 2023. So very familiar with that division and players. But, you know, these guys, once you're into this fraternity, they have a good nose for talent all across the league. And, you know, I really do get a feeling that Trent Balke relies on position coaches, and in this case, a defense coordinator, to be a big part of his evaluation. You would hope that everyone does. I think there's more, you know, some general managers do it more than others. All you got to do is look at Rouser on the offensive line. The fact that they re-signed Ezra Cleveland. I mean, I just can't imagine how those conversations went. I mean, there wasn't anything that we saw with Ezra Cleveland late last year that said you have to bring him back. Nothing. I got to believe that Phil Rauscher said, listen, I had him in Minnesota. When he's healthy, he's this. That would be just my guess. And there are plenty of examples like that throughout the league. And not only here, but yeah, that's a big part of it. 9404 Bull every year. The organization, like the Niners, Eagles, and Steelers, make themselves better, scooping up a starter after cut day. Jags always are. We're good. Trying to remember the last couple of years. They've made some trades, given away some players and added some players. Again, Ezra Cleveland. You know, that one year when Gus was here, which is neons ago, they added 7 players after the roster cuts. I'd love to say, okay, yeah, you're right, but I'm taking your word for it here on the Niners, Eagles, and Steelers. Those are three really good organizations. Now, the Steelers have won, one playoff game in the last 8 or 9 years. But those teams have also dealt with the fact that they can't repay first-round draft picks. I mean, Pittsburgh's dealt with that forever. Pittsburgh dealt with that when they were a rival of the Jaguars. Leon Searcy, Carnell Lake. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You can name 20, 25 premier guys that they just could not or would not pay. And they moved on. New England did the exact same thing. Let's see. 94-34. So, Truth Tower Jackson have a big year. Balke can finally stop having to live in a van down by the river. Rest in peace, Chris Farley. I know that's not the case. Trent Balke makes a very, very good living. And I think he's assembled a good roster. I mean, it's not perfect. He knows more than I do. This is his full-time gig. I like what he's done. But I haven't mentioned it now in a very long time. I'll just for the sake of going against it, I'll come right out again and say I wouldn't have given Trevor the money. Wouldn't have done it. Wouldn't have walked back that offensive line. Wouldn't have kept only 3 defensive ends. Wouldn't have cut Christian Braswell, okay? But I'm sure hosts in every city are critiquing it. This is a better roster. This team has a real opportunity. I tell you one thing that is really good for the Jaguars. They're healthy. Look around the league. Look at the Jaguars' first couple of opponents. We just talked about it with OBJ out and Bradley Chubb out. Those are 2 players right there already on the pup. Who knows what else is going on with the Dolphins? You're going to miss Nick Chubb when you get Cleveland. I mean, right now, Jacksonville is down 2 guys. You're down Keelan Robinson. You're down Andrew Wingard. Everyone else, Christian Kirk practiced yesterday. I mean, Daniel Thomas isn't 100%. You've seen guys battle back, right? Armstead, Roy Robertson Harris, Jordan Jefferson. They've all battled back from some ailments. Tyson Campbell, Foye Oluokun. It's not perfect, but you've had now the 16 days to get ready for Miami, and we're at Tuesday, so you got 12 days remaining, where they've begun to put Miami in both offensively and defensively to look at how to take on the team. What a game that's going to be on opening day. I mean, a huge ball game. I haven't even looked at the schedule. I just haven't. I've been just so focused on the Jaguars. Week 1. So we actually have a game a week from Thursday night, Baltimore, Kansas City. And then on Friday night, we get Green Bay at Philly. Where the hell are they playing that? I can't even, I mean, is that in Germany? Brazil.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Sunday, Jags at Dolphins. Dolphins still favored by 3.5, total 49 and a hook. Can you imagine being forced to bet these games? Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Atlanta favored by 3. I mean, every game is like a field goal. Arizona at Buffalo. Here's a big spread, 6. The Titans at the Bears. Chicago, 4.5 at Soldier Field. New England at Cincinnati. That's going to be a big line. It is. It's 9. Houston at Indy. Divisional matchup right out of the gate. Houston favored by 2 and a hook on the road.
That's a big one.
It is a huge one. Carolina at New Orleans, for crying out loud. Superdome.
Count me out on that.
1 o'clock game. Vikings at Giants. 1 o'clock game. Minnesota favored by 1 on the road.
Really?
All these 1 o'clock games. Yeah.
Daniel Jones getting no love by the bookmakers.
What's up with all these rumors that Kay Adams is dating him. Is that true?
Whoa, I have not seen that.
You need to get caught up on the whole culture and pop deal.
I'm ashamed that I didn't know that.
Stop
I usually
relying
follow
on me for it.
everything that Kay Adams does. Unfortunately, our 1010 Twitter has been down for a while.
It has. We got to get that fixed.
I haven't been on Twitter much.
Raiders or Chargers, 4 o'clock games in L.A., 3.5. Chargers. Denver at Seattle. Seattle favored by 5.5. And Bo Nix going to be a starter. Dallas at Cleveland. What a great game that is. Cleveland favored by 2.5 in the dog pound. And then finally, yet another rookie. D.C., the Commanders at the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay favored by 3.5. Your night game, the L.A. Rams at Detroit. And then Monday night, Jets at 49ers.
If you remember last year, we opened the year on Monday night with the Jets. And 4 plays into the game, we had a very serious Achilles injury.
Awful. Just awful.
The schedule makers in the NFL have no chill to put the Jets back on Monday night to relive, that.
So these lines haven't changed much at all. Jacksonville still favored by 1 point the week after home opener against Cleveland. And Nick Chubb out really helps that. Although I don't know what you could really expect out of him immediately after the injury. But, I haven't really begun to do that yet. We will. Starting Wednesday night, tomorrow night, 6:35, the Philly Godfather, right? Rafael Esparza each and every Thursday. And the Philly Roosters on Friday. So it's, listen, I'm going to bring you 3 handicappers a week. That's what we do around here. Tim Brando Thursday night. Gone back and forth with Timmy B. He's ready, as always. He's ready to go. So that'll be part of the program coming up Thursday as well. All right, we got much more to do tonight. Take you up until 8, and then Hacker Nation here on the home of the Jags.
Hi, I'm Mike Detke. I'm Jeremy Mincy. I'm a Monty Toomer. You're listening to 1010XL. 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 92.5 FM.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is Everbank Teacher Appreciation. Tomorrow is 5-Star Good is Everywhere Wednesday. And don't miss Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. The Weekend of Boom features fireworks Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Baseball all week and weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
Every team has an enforcer.
Whether you like it or not, I'm a hard hitter and I'm a straight shooter.
Tommy Mack is ours.
I say it like I see it.
Fridays on Jaguars Today, brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Veterans, did you know VA mortgage rates have plummeted and you can now access up to 100% of your home's equity and turn that into cash right now? Hey, it's Roger Moore, President and CEO of Loan Pronto, announcing our VA Equity Advantage program. This VA offer can get you $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 cash out with no junk fees and no hassle. With APRs in the 5s, you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and get one easy-to-manage payment. Veterans we help save on average $850 per month. And listen, if you're a veteran modern with a current mortgage rate over 6.25%, we can do a streamlined refinance with no income verification and no appraisal, saving you hundreds a month. At Loan Pronto, we respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now and ask about our special VA Equity Advantage program. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. I get into the sweetness of the honey, then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning.
The Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back with a bite. Try it with the original or spicy filet, now for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Googa Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
What's colder, the North or the South Pole? The answer coming up.
Filing any homeowner's claim is really easy with Southern Oak Insurance. Simply file your claim directly with us. We'll handle the vendors. It will save money for you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The South Pole is colder than the North Pole, which is an ocean surrounded by land. The South Pole is land surrounded by ocean.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Sports fans, JJ LaSalva here. When I need to send my bride flowers or a plant for birthdays or anniversaries, I always go with Hume Flowers. After all, they've been the leading florist in these parts for over 75 years. You can always rely on Hume Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
The Jaguars set their 53-man roster today. The biggest surprise, the cut of Christian Braswell. He was my surprise of camp. Thought he was very, very good. DJ Coleman also cut, so they have 3 on the edge right now, 8 defensive tackles, but you listen to Ryan Nielsen, you listen to Trent Balke, they believe Eric Armstead, Lacey, maybe Yasir Abdullah being pulled up from linebacker, whatever. The ability to do different things. 11 defensive linemen, 10 offensive linemen. They kept just 2 quarterbacks, as expected. 3 running backs, 3 tight ends. 6 wide receivers. A lot of folks don't believe in Tim Jones. He's a special teams guy. He is the 6th wide receiver. And then defensively, they kept an extra linebacker. They kept 6 there. 4 safeties, if you include Savage, who's listed as a corner or listed as a nickel. And the 5 cornerbacks. So that's the way this roster came down when it was all said and done. 5 corners, 4 safeties. So 24 on offense, 26 on defense, 3 special teams players, 53, 2 to the IR where you can pull back when you look at Keelan Robinson and you look at Dewey, and then the exemption list for Deshaun Gibson. So it's really like a 56-man roster. They now have 48 hours to, in 48 hours to grab perhaps an interior offensive lineman off of the waiver wire, maybe an edge guy off the waiver wire, and still add 16 players to the practice squad.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
All right, Hacker Nation is here. Totally shocked I was by Christian Braswell.
I'll tell you this. I've been fortunate enough to cover 22 Jaguar training camps. This is a top 5er as far as just level of shock for the final cuts. Braswell shocked me. I was pretty surprised by Terrell Edmonds. Almost floored by DJ Coleman. I didn't like Elijah Cooks being sent out the door. I understand why now, because they kept 21 big uglies, if you will, on the O-line and the D-line. Look, I said last night, it's no longer in Gene we trust, it's in Trent we trust. And I'm going to follow that moniker. I'm not going to change 24 hours from now or 24 hours later. But, yeah, when I saw that final cut-down sheet, I was like, wow, they did a lot of things that I would not have done, but that's why he's the general manager, and that's why I'm a host on 1010XL, I guess.
5 tackles, really only 1 backup guard with Cooper. You got Luke at center.
Well, apparently Trayvon Walker and Joshua Hines-Allen are just going to have the healthiest years of their career.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to dip their toe into the fountain of youth, and they're going to be in bubble wrap, every day. If one of those guys gets hurt, I don't know if you can rush the passer.
Oh, I can.
But they might look at you, Rick, because if one of those guys gets hurt, holy moly.
Where do they add? I got to believe interior offensive line is where they're looking more than anything else. And if there's an edge guy who becomes available, but what do you think here over the next 40 or in 48 hours?
They, as sure as the sun will rise tomorrow, they will not add an edge pass rusher. I'm fairly certain of that after 2 years. They just won't do it. I would add an edge pass rusher, but they choose not to. So I don't give that any chance whatsoever. Maybe interior O-line. I guess interior offensive line could be something I would look at. You're going to add a running back when Keelan Robinson gets back from injury. Again, you have 5 wide receivers. Tim Jones, I don't think, gives you very much a wide receiver, whereas Tram or Cooks would have. I think there's a lot of options where you could add potential guys. Here's another one. You keep 21 linemen, right? You got 53 guys on the roster. You keep 21 linemen. Special teams, man. I mean, you got 6 linebackers. You got, 5 corners? I mean, are the special teams units going to be affected with the amount of bigs that the Jaguars kept?
Yeah, I mean, you don't use those linemen you do, on PATs and field goals.
Linemen aren't covering punts or kickoffs.
No, they absolutely are not. And all right, we'll see what's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make it seem like I'm upset. I'm just kind of flabbergasted. And just, I don't even know whether to be mad or happy. I'm going to wait and see it play out. But the Braswell, the Edmonds thing, even, Shatley, it was unfortunate to see that. Anyway, we're going to talk about it a lot. We got the head coach, Dave Campo, coming on at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour to react to the 53-man roster. A lot of college football talk, including, oh, by the way, the Truth Teller tonight, right? 9 o'clock. He'll be on to talk a little Florida State with me and recap what happened in Dublin.
I was on my way to Glenn's Liquors, man. I'm going to have to delay that for an hour.
I would like you to do the interview from Glenn's Liquors. That might add to the nostalgia of it.
All right, man. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's coming up right now. Yeah, I'll join Hacker in an hour. Doing Florida State reports on every show, so that'll be tonight at 9 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. Remember, tomorrow night at 6:30, 6:35, the Philly Godfather. We'll talk with him. And then John Osher at 7 o'clock. So we'll get everything from the senior writer at Jaguars.com on his thoughts with this 53-man roster. I don't check the text line now that the show is over. You can get me anytime on Twitter or X at Ballou1010XL. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. I am Rick Ballou. Again, we'll talk tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
press the button.